I think as a young person coming through, you look for cues from kind of those who are around you, as to how you should behave and interact in the professional space. And so as a young person first entering into the corporate world, you look at how people engage at networking functions and say, okay, how do I navigate this space? And prior to meeting Jon, what you were kind of getting is your social cues where people would come in and take a scattergun approach and throw their business cards around a room, and would think that was networking and that was successfully connecting. And that never clicked with me, but it seemed like that was what the way to navigate the space was. That was what you were meant to do. Come in, throw that around, walk up to people, find out whether there is benefit to you. If there's not, quickly extricate yourself from that situation. If there is, maybe spend a bit of time with them, get to know them a little bit better, all that sort of thing. And so I think Jon's approach, and proving that firstly reinforcing, I think, that probably a lot of the professional world's getting it wrong with how they connect with people. And secondly, that you can build far more meaningful and sustainable relationships through taking, like Jon and Kwan's approach to connecting, has really been great in terms of applying that to what I do, and being able to, as a young professional, start that career in the right space and start building a professional network on a really solid foundation. So I think that's probably where I've had huge benefit from what Jon's taught me.
Do young people connect differently to the way older people connect, and is there any bridge between the two?
It's a really good question. I think it's a really relevant question because we definitely connect differently. You've got a generation coming through who think that connecting, in some ways we're more connected than ever before because we're all over Facebooks and Twitters and LinkedIn's, and it's in the palm of our hand and we're constantly interacting in this technological realm. But what we've actually really lost, and it's starting in our generation, but I think it will particularly come through in sort of your Gen Zs and so on, is the art of connecting person to person. And that interpersonal relationship building and communication and that ability to interact in a variety of social and business contexts is something that you haven't got too many young people knowing how to do or feeling comfortable in. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I think it's great that Jon is getting his message out through academia, through the Monash and Melbourne MBA programs, because I think it's really important that young people are getting taught how to do this and how to do it right, because I think it's a lost art coming through to our generation because of the technological dependence and instantaneity of the way we're connecting. I think it's emotional. I don't think it should be transactional. I think a lot of people have a transactional mindset to it, which I think is part of the beauty of Kwan's philosophy. That tagline that it's all about who matters, everyone matters, and that's the way it should be. I think that you need to go in and have a genuine willingness and want to learn a person's story and to understand what makes them tick, and that shouldn't go in with the mindset of what can this person give to me, but what can I give to this person. I think relationships are all about adding value, and that shouldn't be that in order to add value you need a guarantee that value is going to come back. Karmic philosophy, the good will come back to you eventually. But I think that it should be an emotional based connection and a real desire to want to help people. And I wish everyone thought like that.
How do you stop being over-connected?
Well, that's a really big challenge, and I think that's where so much of the structure and the system that Jon's approach brings is really helpful in terms of providing you that framework for how you can go about doing it, because there is a huge array of people, and particularly with the globalised nature of the world and the level of technology proliferation right now, people are connected with thousands upon thousands of people. And so Jon always talks about being top of mind, and this idea of how you remain top of mind with people that are really important to you and that you genuinely care about. And I don't think there's any magic technique. I think there's a lot of discipline. I think you really need to genuinely care, because like anything in life, if you don't care, funnily enough, you don't put time and effort into it. But it's about the little things, and it's about not underestimating the power of the little things, the thank you notes, the just wanted to touch base and see how you're going. Keeping tabs on those people that are really important, and making sure that when big things happen for them and that you're there just to say hey or to touch base and keep in touch. It's about that constant connection. It doesn't have to be about statements of grandeur, but it needs to be consistent, and it needs to be genuine.
If you had to put a tagline against the things you've learned about Kwan and Jon and the way he teaches, what would it be?
I think for me, there are a couple of things I think of. For me, firstly, it's who matters, everyone matters. That really authentic idea that, you know, everyone has value. And it's really your role as the person in meeting someone to work out what they're all about and to unlock that value. And that should be something that you search for in everyone that you meet. And I think the second thing is authenticity. Like, I think that's really what Jon's taught me. It's about connecting with people in an authentic way. It's not about putting on a front or being disingenuous about you or what you're after in a relationship with them. So I think really for me that's what Kwan's all about.